Quick counter is one of the most effective ways to play in eFootball if you know how to use it. In this video, I'm going to show you in real online matches exactly how this playstyle works, how I attack, how I defend, and how I control games using quick counter. Then, I'll walk you through how to set it up, how to build your attack, how to organize your defense, and the kind of players you need to make it all click. Before we jump into the gameplay, let's take a look at my opponent's squad. You can see this is a really serious defense. Edgar Davids with that long reach tackle, Beckenbauer and Tony Adams. Perfect balance right there. Costa Curta on the right side, solid as ever, and Serginho with all that speed on the left. And then Dadar in goal. This video on quick counter was actually requested by a lot of my subscribers. You guys really wanted to see it. Honestly, my main playstyles in eFootball had always been long ball counter and possession game. But this is ridiculous. It's just too easy once you set it up and play it like I will show you. I started Mbappe instead of Batistuta. I'll explain why. By the 21st minutes, he'd already scored 2 goals, so that plan worked out beautifully. Look at where Messi is. Everyone is just so mobile. The fluidity in this setup was just unreal. Everything was moving so smartly. I'll show you how to set it up just like this. You can see those little exchanges, so clean.
Who's going to get there? And this is Neymar, Mbappe. Kukcu is always looking to break lines. That's been intercepted.
I keep saying it, guys. Paul Scholes is so underrated.
In double quick time. Kukcu. And here's Mbappe. Now it's Messi.
You can see the very high press pays off, but you need to understand some key principles.
Tries a shot. Staggering, just staggering. Not in there. Fade in the second half. Liverpool are dishing out a mauling here then. It's only half gested there, Peter. There was absolutely no space to work with.
I can't show you everything that happened in this match because of time. If you want to see the full match breakdown, just drop full match in the comments. I'll know. If enough people want it, I will drop it. Alright, this is a weaker team, but you can see all the defenders are fast. He actually forfeited the match after I scored 3 goals, but there's still a lot to learn from this one. Watch this. This next goal shows why you need attacking fullbacks in this system. Look at that cross from Silvestri. Perfect. I'm actually going to make a video on how to use your fullbacks to the best effect, so stay tuned. Attacking setup and player attributes. Let's start with the front 3. You want to use 2 supporting strikers instead of wingers. But place them wide, right in those winger positions, just like you see on the screen here. You can shift them around a bit to test what works for you. But honestly, this has been the most effective setup I've found. Basically, go to your formation setup, choose 4-2-1-3, leave it as it is, then change the 2 wingers to supporting strikers. Now, for the middle guy, the main forward, you can use a center forward if you want someone making direct runs. But if you want more dynamism in your attack, you can also use a supporting striker there. Don't just throw players in there. Those 2 wide players should have good attacking awareness. Attacking awareness is surprisingly crucial in quick counter. It helps them make those smart runs, exploit pockets of space, and switch positions naturally. And don't crowd them in the middle like most people do. Keep them wide. That wing rotation really throws opponents off. Sometimes they hold position, sometimes they switch, like what we saw earlier with Messi. You also want to adapt based on the opponent you're facing. For example, if I want a bit more flexibility, I usually go with Hazard. But if I'm up against a strong, physical defense that's not so quick, I might use someone like Batistuta or Van Nistelrooy, players who can really hold their ground. On the other hand, if the defense is fast, I'll match that pace with someone like Mbappe or Vinicius Jr. in that center forward position. But in this match, it was all about player condition. Mbappe was in top form, so that's why I started him. In attacking midfield, you need someone who can link the midfield and attack with smooth turning and also make those runs to score just to keep your opponent guessing. I start with Scholes, then I bring on Bellingham or Lampard. Pick someone with high attacking awareness, good ball control, tight possession, and good finishing. And then you need at least 1 attacking fullback or a fullback finisher to stretch the pitch and give you that width. How to build successful attacks with quick counter. First of all, take your hands off the dash button whenever you win ball. Quick counter is so fluid, you really need to force it with pace. The off-the-ball movement of your players does most of the work for you. When you're on the ball, your main job is to turn quickly and find the next man. And trust me, It's much easier to make those sharp turns when you're not holding the dash button. So yeah, smoother turns, better control, and it keeps your attack flowing. That's why you need players with good tight possession, ideally 75 and above. And always keep your eye on the next pass. In quick counter, there's almost always one correct run happening at any given moment. If you spot it and make that pass, you break through. If you miss it, the chance is gone. That's the rhythm of quick counter. One run triggers the next. When one player gets the ball, another immediately bursts behind the defense. So your focus should be reading those runs and feeding the right one at the right time. Unlike long ball counter, where everyone just sprints forward the moment you win the ball. Or possession game, which focuses on controlling the ball, passing, and patiently probing for openings in the defense. Quick counter is all about timing and connection. How to defend successfully in quick counter. All right. Now let's talk about defense setup, because one mistake can completely ruin your game. Quick counter has the highest defensive line of any playstyle in the game. That means you're always vulnerable to those strikers running in behind. If you don't defend properly here, you'll concede a lot of annoying goals. It's that simple. So, first thing, learn how to use your goalkeeper. I actually have a full video on this that I've been working on. It's almost ready, but for now, just start practicing. Play AI matches using a high defensive line, and focus on learning when to bring your keeper out and when to hold him. If you're a beginner, I recommend using an attacking goalkeeper. I'm doing fine here with Courtois, but that comes from experience. Attacking keepers react quicker, and that 1 second delay can be the difference between saving a goal and conceding one. Secondly, train your defenders for high speed and acceleration. In quick counter, speed matters more than strength or aerial ability because your line is so high. Every defender you pick should be able to recover quickly when under attack. And third, this one's very important, pick midfielders with high defensive engagement. That's what helps them cut out attacks before they even start. When you're defending with a high line, your goal isn't to chase attackers. It's to prevent the attack from even developing. The moment you lose the ball, press high. Try to win it back in their half. That's what keeps opponents from launching long balls behind your line. Here's what you should do if you're not comfortable with changing cursors or using pressure-style defending. Go to your settings and change your cursor change to assisted. That setting allows the game to automatically switch players for you while defending. Once you do that, it's not just about holding the pressure button. You've got to be smart and work together with the AI. Whenever you see a through ball being launched toward your defense, immediately drag your direction back, facing toward your own goal. That helps your defender recover positioning and stay ready to challenge. When you find yourself side by side with an attacker, try to angle your defender slightly toward him, so your player can use his physical contact to push him off the ball. But be careful. Always watch the cursor switch, because that's usually where most people make mistakes. Doing this helps you recover faster and keeps your defensive shape solid. You'll also notice that with assisted on, your team presses more efficiently, especially in midfield. Now, one thing to be careful about. When you're pressing, don't overuse your direction stick. Sometimes it'll look like your players are stepping out of position, but if you set your team up right, your players will naturally cover the gaps. For example, if your center back is out of position, your full back or defensive midfielder will usually drop in to cover that space. But if you start forcing movement or switching direction too often during cursor change, you'll break that automatic rotation, and that's how gaps appear. That's the biggest mistake most people make when defending aggressively. Let me know in the comments if you want a dedicated video on pressure-style defending. If you must use direction, guide it toward your own goal. And if you think you can switch quickly enough, that's fine. Use manual or semi-auto. The key idea here is that the ball must always be pressed. All right, let's talk about substitutions. You have to make your substitutions early, especially in midfield, because those midfielders are going to run a lot. When you use this kind of high press, quick counter style, they'll be completely drained by halftime. So don't wait. Make your substitutions early. Around the 60th minute mark is usually perfect. I don't recommend using auto substitutions because you want to be very deliberate about every change, and the choices the game makes are often random. Your attackers, especially your wide forwards, will also need rest. They're constantly switching positions and sprinting, so fresh legs make a huge difference. Personally, I don't really change my defensive line during matches. The only player from my back line who really runs up is my attacking fullback, and he's got high stamina. So, no need to touch the back line unless there's an emergency. And if you want to see everything from this match unfold in real time, The goals I scored, the build-ups to those goals, how I pressed and didn't allow him to develop any attacks. Basically the whole match, uncut and in real time. Let me know in the comments. Just comment quick counter match, and I'll drop that one for you as a full match. And hey, if this video brought you value, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel. It helps a lot, and I'll keep bringing you more relatable, tactical guides like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.